John's going to start with his first player of the game, get into the defensive portion of the show. Take it away, producer John.
Yeah, my player of the game tonight is Myles Murphy, defensive tackle. He's one of the young pups on the defense, one of those highly recruited, very talented defensive players. Tonight, he finished with a sack, and he also had 2 tackles for loss. So a very big performance from him. He's someone who can really help UNC throughout the season because he's only going to get better and better. Ross, how about you, player of the game?
Yeah, I'm going Sam Howell. We've talked about a lot already. Got back on track with the deep ball, which we've talked about. 21 for 29, very efficient. I thought he wasn't very helped much by the offensive line, but a good passing game, and then also the rushing game kind of kept UNC in it early with his rushing game, that big 62-yard touchdown run, and you could see him on the sideline. Super happy, pretty pumped with his performance. So Sam Howell is my player of the game. Yep. And Sean.
Yeah, I'm going with Antoine Green. Kind of talked about him earlier. Definitely had, a take your opportunity type game. I mean, he made the most of his opportunities. He 3 catches, 117 yards, and 1 touch. So, he broke open the game with the explosive plays early in the game. So, he kind of kept that thing going throughout the game and, made some beautiful catches, man. I can't say too much more about him. He was dynamic.
Green's a 4-star recruit, a big-time recruit. I think UNC fans have been waiting for him to have a big game. He's always on the brink of kind of breaking out. Yeah. And so when he caught that big pass play in the corner, it was huge. It's what they needed. That's what they need from him. Right. I need that from him in Virginia Tech. You're going to need that next week against Virginia. Absolutely. If him, Joffrey Brown can become deep threats, that's what this offense needs. Yeah. Antoine Green, Myles Murphy. I thought Kyle McMichael played really well.
Yeah, he did.
The defense overall, there's a lot of guys you could point to that had good games. The linebackers, I didn't see any issues with the linebackers.
Nah, not really.
We didn't see Eugene Asante have many mistakes.
Yeah, he was getting off blocks. I think they may have talked about that last week, just him getting off the blocks and making plays. Because, like I said, we kind of talked about it earlier last week with him, his size. And then the offensive line getting their hands on him, but he was shedding blocks pretty good from what I noticed.
Let's keep going with our 3 takeaways. Some of the stuff we talked about already, but let's start with receivers making plays. Sean.
Yeah, it showed Antoine Green was one of those guys. We got the ball to Josh Downs early. Early on in the game, they actually kind of gave him some almost option routes and then some check downs, almost like an extended running back, which I thought was a brilliant way to use him. The receivers, all of them made pretty big plays. Emery Simmons, another guy, made some big plays. I really wish he would go up on those contested catches. He's a big guy. He has to use that body to make those catches on those DBs.
Yeah, so Antoine Green, Emery Simmons, Josh Downs, like you said, they're using him all over the field in different ways, outside, inside, in the backfield, just like they did against Virginia Tech. Right. He has a big game as well. And Joffrey Brown, back in this game, didn't play that much against Virginia Tech. He had that drop in the fourth quarter. He's a guy UNC's definitely looking forward to getting more involved in that deep passing play. My takeaway, I'm going to go defensive backs. You didn't see Georgia State have any big pass plays. Their quarterback, not a big passer in general. I thought the defensive backs have been playing really well. I think they played pretty well against Virginia Tech too.
Yeah, they did.
Love Kyler McMichael. I think Tony Grimes is a great player. Storm Duck has not played yet. In 2 games coming off an injury. DeAndre Hollins, I thought Ja'Corius Conley when he was in had a good game. Right. And Gio Biggers came in as well. So I think the defense overall, there's not really to point to any areas that were negative. Yeah. You don't hear their name that much. It's usually a good thing on defense. Right. And our final takeaway is kind of wrapping up this game, taking care of business, and doing what they needed to do. Any thoughts on kind of more general about this game moving ahead to Virginia?
So my biggest takeaway was we had some explosive plays, and that's one thing that a lot of teams that I was on, both college and the NFL, if you can get explosive plays down the field, at least 3 a game, you're gonna be in a good position to win. But I think us being balanced in the run and the pass and explosive plays will
like last
fit
year.
us well. Yeah, exactly. So we had a balance of those explosive plays. We didn't just lean on Sam running 62-yard runs and getting 62-yard passes down the field. It just doesn't happen that way every game. But if we can get those explosive plays in, it's definitely a key for us.
And I think it's a confidence builder too. This type of game, getting those big pass plays, scoring touchdowns, whether it be on the ground or in the air, is it's a confidence builder for the offense, some connection between Sam Howell and his receivers. They took care of business. By the second quarter, third quarter, it was kind of under control, and you had fun. You had Bryson Nesbitt with a reception from Criswell. That was a great play.
That was a good play.
Jacoby Criswell got in, QB2, went out and hit Nesbitt on a really sharp pass play.
On the run.
On the run, that's right. You had Power Eccles with almost like a pick six. A lot of different players got in. I think the pick six was called back. But that's what you want to do in this game. UNC wins 59-17.